Good morning, Canadian Yarn Horde. My name's Alyssa, and as you can see, Willow's right behind me, like normal. Today, we're just going to make a really fairly quick. It's probably going to take about an hour. This is a fingerless glove. It is a vintage knitting stitch called the Daisy Stitch. If you are new here, thank you very much for showing up. If you are a return viewer, thank you very much for coming back. I wanted to do the spiel. I'm sure people are getting tired of it, but you have to do it. What I like to do here is Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I like to do project updates, showing you what I'm doing in the back room, like in the back channels where I'm doing bigger projects, much bigger projects than just a quick hour or two. The one I'm working on has taken, I think, about a month. So it helps you know how long a project can take. I do try to emphasize that. I don't always remember to tell you at the end. I do try to. General, if the video takes about an hour, hour and a half, takes a long time, the project probably is going to take a little bit longer than you realize. And then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, I like to release project videos like this, where I do believe you can do it. If you just enjoy watching it, thank you very much. If you do enjoy learning, I do want to try and help people, give people tips, tricks, things that they can do, things that help make their life better. Those are what my shorts are basically. So I would love to earn your like and subscription. I would love to hear from you. Any questions, comments, concerns, even if it's just to say thank you. I love that. It makes my day. Makes me know that I'm doing this for actual people. It helps. So I'm going to move you over to the overhead cam and we're going to get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using 3 3/4 needles, 4 needles, 4mm needles, and 3mm needles. So those are what we're going to be using. The yarn we're going to be using is this Bernat Bundle Up. It is 100% polyester. It recommends a 5mm needle and a 5.5mm hook. This one is in nighttime. I did get it at Lens Mills for $7.49. This one I got in a thrift store secondhand bag. It feels a lot the same. So I'm assuming it's the same yarn. It could be a loops and threads, but I do believe it is the same yarn. So we are going to start with it. It is what I would call a light gray. And we're going to start with it. And there is my end. So I'm going to put over here. We're going to use a 3.5mm needle to our hook to cast on. This is my preferred method of casting on. Now I'm going to make a slip knot. I'm going to just pull you down just a little bit so I can see, make sure my hands are in frame. So what you do is you wrap around you pinch your 3 fingers together, wrap it around that pinch, and then you pull it off and push the loop up and through. You do want to leave a little bit of a tail because you are going to need it to sew up. And then you're going to cast on 38 stitches. So 1, 2, and you just wrap around. You take the loop, you put it on the hook, you wrap around the hook, and then you pull through the loop, and there's your stitch. It is by far the best, easiest, simplest way to cast on with elasticity. I have tried the holding 2 needles together, casting on with a larger needle. I just do not find any of them are as nice as this edge is. It's very elasticy, which means it will almost always be able to pull your project on over larger hands, watches, that kind of thing. So I do prefer to do this, especially when I can. I may not always cast off with it because in ribbing, I don't like the look of the crochet hook cast off. But for casting on, it is by far the better one. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. And then you put the loop on the hook on the needle, and that is your 38 stitches. So that is how we're going to cast on. Now you're going to do a simple knit 1 purl 1 ribbing. I think that's for 1.5 inches, but I am going to measure it just in case. Yep. So for 1.5 inches, you are going to do knit 1, purl 1, ribbing, which is a 1 row repeat because it is an even number of stitches. If it were odd, you would slightly change it up so that what's knit is knit and what's purl is purl. But that's why I like even stitches, and you'll see that I will cast one off at the last line, so that way I do keep this nice and even. So your knit 1, you put it in the back of the loop, wrap around, pull out, bring the yarn in front, put it in the needle in the front, wrap around, put the yarn in the back. And this is what you're going to do to knit the start ribbing of your fingerless gloves. And as I said, this is an old vintage pattern. I've been seeing this for years. I did just learn it about a month ago, but it is a very simple, easy pattern. It is a 4-row repeat. It didn't give me any trouble. I just did a quick refresh yesterday. It's exactly how I remember it, and I think I learned it a long time ago. I just didn't take to it then. Too many other projects got in the way, and I forgot about it, and then I came back to it just recently, I should say. So I'm going to come back when I have the 1.5 row or 1.5 inch ribbing border, and I will show you how to start the pattern. So I've gotten my border done. So we're going to change to the size 4 needles, and we are going to start with the darker color, and this first row is knit. So you're just going to knit your way across this row, and this and every other alternate row. So when you're not doing the next row or the following 4th row, so the 2nd or the 4th row, it will always be knit. So your alternate rows, which I think is the wrong side, is knit, but I could be wrong on that. So I'm just going to pull that tail into the front because that's where I want it. And then you're just going to knit this row. I will be back in a minute and I will show you what the next row is. Okay, so I've got my first knit row done. Actually, no, this will be the good side. This will be the wrong side. So this one is knit 1. And then the next, hold on a sec. Okay, so I just had to check because I wasn't sure if it was knit 1 or purl 1 first, but it's knit 1 and then it's purl 3 together, but you're not going to pull them off. You're just going to knit them together, pull the needle through, wrap around, put it back through the 3 and wrap around again, and then you're going to pull off. So that's how you do that. You're going to knit 1 and you're going to do that again. Grab 3 stitches, knit as if you're going to knit them off, yarn over, put the needle back under, yarn over again, or knit it again, and then pull them off and knit 1. You're going to do this all the way across. So yarn over, wrap around, go back through, yarn over, and pull off. Knit 1. Yarn, knit 3 together, yarn over, and knit 3 together again. Is how they write it in the actual pattern. So knit 1 or purl 1. Sorry, I should be saying purl, not knit. So purl 3 together, yarn over, and then purl 3 together again. I'm sorry if that was confusing you. I do not know why I was saying knit. Purl 1. So purl 3 together, yarn over, back through the stitches, yarn over, knit the stitches together again. So knit 3 stitches together, wrap around the needle, put back into purl 3 stitches together again. I did it again. I keep saying knit. I do apologize. Purl 1. And then I'm just going to bring this guy back again so he's in the right spot. Purl 3 together, yarn around, and purl 3 together again. And I forgot to cast off one, so we're going to have to do it again here. So you're going to the last, technically 5 stitches. So purl 3 together, wrap around, purl 3 together again. And then I'm just going to knit 2 together just because I don't want that last stitch there because it throws off the count. So you're just going to knit those 2 together as a knit 1. So that'll be your first row. This is your third row, and you're just going to knit across it. Oh, no, that was my bad. So what you're going to do is you're going to knit each stitch individually. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Nope, that's yarn over. That didn't need to be there. So you're going to knit this row to the end, and then I will come back and I'll show you the second row and tell you how much farther you're going to do with this. So I'll be back in a sec. So that's the third row. So the fourth row is you knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, and then you're going to do the purl 3, 2, 3 together again. So that purl 3, yarn over, and purl 3 together again. And then you're going to knit 1. But I don't think I did that. I'm pretty sure I purled them all. So I'm going to go with purl 1 because I do not believe I knit 1. So I believe I purled them all. And it looks like I purled them all. So I'm going to continue with that. So I'm going to continue. So I guess it's my modified version of a daisy stitch. And then you just purl 1, and then 1, 2. Oh, 3 stitches there. Oops, already. 1, and then do it again. 1, wrap around, and 1, and then purl 1, and then we're going to do it again. 1, wrap around, go back through the knit 3 together, or purl 3 together, and then purl 1. And you're just going to do that. Now, that is the pattern. You're going to follow that. So the pattern is knit 1 for the first start, and your last one is knit 1. All the rest are going to be purl, and you're going to do this on this particular row for 5.5 inches. Then I will come back and I will show you how to finish it off. So for the last 3 stitches, you want to purl 2 and then knit 1. So that's pretty much your stitches. That's how they look. And that's how it's going to look. You're going to now do the next row is knit. And you're going to repeat that all the way for 5.5 inches. So I just wanted to show the end. And I will be back when I have my 5.5 inches. So I did finish up the patterns. And then I noticed I did 1 row of purl on the back. So that is what I'm doing right now. And when I finish that, I'm going to change to the lighter color, smaller needles, and I'm going to do a full row of knit as well. And that's so that you don't get that look, because I don't want that look. So I'm going to come back and I will show you how to do the changing over the needles, the color, and I will show you how to do that first row knit and then what we do after. Okay, so I got that row done. So now you just want to leave a little bit of a tail. There we go. My scissors are not working today, but we got that one done. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change to the lighter color. And the first row we're going to do is we're going to knit because, oh, that's not the right way. There we go. And you're just going to knit all the way across. So I'll be back when I'm done this row to show you the next row, because the next row will change a little bit. Okay, so I've got the first row knit. So this row, you're going to start with the ribbing. So you're going to do that knit one, purl one, like you did at the beginning. And you're going to do this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. So you're just going to go back and forth on the ribbing for 6 rows. And then I will come back. We'll cast off on the 6th row. So you'll do 5 rows, and then I will come back on the 6th row to show you how to cast off. And then we'll show you how to sew it up. I did want to show that I like to cast off at well, when you know it's not going to be even, I'll cast off, and that'll just make it a 1 row repeat. So that was my first row. I've got 4 more to do, and I will be back. All right, so I've got my 5 rows ribbing. So this is going to be the 6th row. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast off. So you knit, you purl, and then, oh, I got my yarn tangled in my needle in my yarn. You just push, you just lift the stitch over, and you are done. And then you just keep going. Do not tighten, do not pull, do not do anything. Try to make it very loose. You do still want a loose border here. You don't want it tight. So I'm going to finish this. I will come back and show you how we're going to sew it up. So I got that finished. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to trim off this yarn. So we're done with that. And next what you want to do is you want to grab your needle and you want to pull this out. And you want to sew or darn these two together, making sure that you keep the inside as the good side and the outside as your stitch side. So you're going to stitch these up. So you're just going to stitch them together. And you're going to stop when you hit the other color change. So you don't want to go farther than the color. And then in this, I like to go back up just to make sure it's not going to come undone easily. And then you just go back down a 3rd time, and that should be your locked in. You're not going to pull that apart very easily. It's nice and buried. Ooh, I think I just lost my needle over here. There we go. So then the next one you're going to do is this one. But this one you want to darn onto your needle. And then you're going to measure it to this one. And so it's right about here. So you want to just come down to right about there. Do not pull tight. Hold them both together. And then you're going to do basically a locking stitch here, what I call a locking stitch. You're going to tighten it really nice. And when you loop the thread like that, so basically I'll show you again, put it through, loop the needle, the yarn around your needle, and tighten up. And that would be what I would call a nice locking stitch. It gives a good firm kind of spot for the yarn not to pull, and it's a nice tight stitch that holds things where you want it. And then you're just going to come down, and you're going to finish this off. And then you're going to, oops, there we go. Sometimes that can happen. You're not holding it 100% together. You just want to try and balance it out and even it up so that they go on evenly. And just go back and forth. Once you get to here, just kind of go up a few stitches. And then you can come back down, pull it through, trim that one off. Oof, we got some wind going on today. We're getting ready for a nice winter storm today. So I know this won't be coming out, but it should be coming out during the winter. So, and I do like to do these for winter because I do find people don't take care of enough of your hands. And doing the polyester yarn, I do have a short coming out soon that will give you the dynamics of polyester yarn and all the different dynamics of all the different yarns and what their properties are for. So if you're interested in that, I will have shorts coming out about that soon, if they're not already out, as that could be. So now I just go as far as I can with each thread. I knew that I was going to run out before I got to the end, but this is why I do say you want to leave a little bit of a tail. That way you can make sure you get it all sewn up nicely. Just going to go up here and then come down. So there's the one seam. Oh, it's nice and windy out there right now. Don't know if you can hear it, but it is just rattling. And then I'm going to sew this one up and in. And we will turn our work inside out and we will be done. So there's that. So there you have it. And I do find this one is oddly, I don't know what it is about it, but when you're first done it, it looks very diagonal. And then I guess you put your hand in and you stretch it out a little bit and you give it a bit of stretching and life, and the pattern changes just enough so that it looks a lot more realistic. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope to see you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.